I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Woo! Jersey!
We are back. Another amazing week. Woo!
Friday, Jersey Day, Friday. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something.
You know what? Honestly, every day is Jersey Day to me.
Yeah, why not?
Let's just make it like an everyday thing. But yeah, season 3, episode 21, Unresolved Issues. There's a whole lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
A whole bag of drama.
For sure. I'm DJ, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Benny. How's it going, Benny? What were your overall episode?
Oh, man. It was such a good episode. I loved it. So much going on. It was definitely a different type of feeling from last week's episode. Last week was very family oriented, lovey-dovey. I love you guys. This one was a lot more drama, a lot of high stakes, which I loved. So it was cool. It gave us something to all talk about.
For sure. Claus came out on this episode. We have been having a lot of heartwarming episodes, tearjerkers, but this episode, it just went complete opposite, I think. I mean, there were some moments here and there, but we're going to do it. That Twitter drama, the episode that aired, everything just kind of came into light, really.
Right.
So we're going to dive right into it. I can't wait. Obviously, the beginning of the episode, it did start off, very sweet, Uncle Situation, got to see his meatballs, or Snooki and Dina's meatballs, but I guess meatball nephews for him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a very cute moment. And
their kids are so adorable.
Yeah, they are. And in that moment, I just saw, you could see it in his face, the Situation's face, and Lauren's, when they just held the babies. You could tell, oh my gosh, they wanted this so bad. They have baby fever, definitely, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it was cool just to see the kids hanging out with the Situation and just the whole group. And I just started thinking wow, I could so see them doing a Jersey Shore, the next generation. These kids turn 18 years old and they're now a part of this whole Jersey Shore gang. And I'm like, well, dang, if they do this, I can't even imagine how old I'm going to be when that happens.
We're really going to be in 40s or 50s talking about them. We're going to be doing this.
Exactly. Yeah. So that I could definitely see that. It was cool. It's always cool seeing their family grow and just remembering, where they started and where they are now.
Definitely. And that was sweet. It was their last day. They ended on a great note. Everybody's happy and leaving and going on to their individual lives until literally 2 weeks later on Jersey Day. That's when that episode aired, with 24 acting inappropriately, with Angelina, and Jenny passed out drunk. So they finally saw it. We've spoken about it months ago, but now they actually finally seen it in this episode.
Yeah. All
hell breaks loose. I'm just trying to figure out, obviously, we saw Jenny was livid. She was going off on social media. She was saying, okay, it's over between me and 24. And it seemed like she was also coming at Angelina as well. And so it was just kind of a battle between not only just Jenny and 24, but also with Angelina. It was just a triangle battle between them. At first, do you think Jenny overreacted?
I do think she overreacted, but at the same time, I understand why she overreacted. She is seeing all this stuff for the first time play out on TV, and she's hurt by it, and sometimes when people are hurt by it, the first thing they do is lash out before really thinking about what happened. And unfortunately, Angelina was in that situation where Jenny saw that, hey, why were you in that situation? You shouldn't have been in that situation. She wasn't really able to truly think about, who was really at fault for this. And I was glad that once she did really, calm down and see what the bigger picture was, I was glad that she was able to try and get that friendship back.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was happy that she was able to come to her senses in the end of all this. But before even just realizing it, she didn't say it much to Angelina, because on Angelina's side of things, Angelina was also livid that she felt like she was obviously being attacked by Jenny. So
Hmm.
that created problems, and that raised a lot of questions too. Is Jenny going to be a part of the wedding? Like,
Yeah.
where does their friendship stand? Because we were just talking before last week about how they're progressing in their friendship. It was a long road, but now this was setting them way back. So that
Hmm.
was kind of making me feel a little bit worried, and I was like, no, we made such progress, but
Yeah.
and it was just interesting getting her side. Obviously she said that she felt blindsided, she felt betrayed.
Yeah.
Obviously it was a mess,
Hmm.
but the person that should definitely get most of the blame for this happening is 24,
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Hands
he shouldn't
down.
be acting like that. So
Completely, hands down. And I feel bad for Angelina in this situation because she pretty much said everything that happened before the episode aired.
right.
And when the episode aired, everything that she said came true, but Jenny still lashed at her. And as I said before, I get why she did that. But at the same time, I feel bad for Angelina because she was telling the truth about what happened. And so this is all happening. What is it? 3 weeks away from her wedding.
Yeah.
And she's already stressing about that. That alone is huge to
Mm,
stress about. And now she has to stress about this stuff that's airing on TV, which she warned them about this would happen. So, I felt bad for her. And I feel like if her fiance, because it seems like her fiance was cool with her because, they weren't arguing or anything. I feel like should have Jenny should have understood, even though I give her a pass because of the situation.
exactly. I agree. And also too, between Angelina and Jenny, what kind of annoyed me about all of this, like, yeah, I feel Jenny overreacted, but they didn't talk about it right away. There was just so much, talking about her back, to other people.
Yeah.
This was developing. They didn't actually have direct communication. They were, we saw that Jenny was only talking to Dina and Snooki, explaining her
Right.
things. And then Angelina talking to Vinny of all people, um,
Yeah.
and even Dina. It was just so interesting. Their relationships, just their friendships between Vinny and Angelina, and then Angelina and Dina. I mean,
And
I like the fact that she's getting closer to them, um,
yeah.
and especially Vinny as like friends. It for me. It seemed like an unlikely friendship that formed between them, because when you look in the past, Dina was basically Angelina's replacement when Angelina like pieced out on like what season 2 or whatever. And
Yeah.
just to see them actually interact and develop that friendship, even Angelina on the episode was saying, "Oh, I'm glad that me and Dina are bonding." Dina was the only one that showed up for her bridal shower, so that was really nice. I know Snooki had to go last minute because of all the drama that was happening. But also with her, Angelina and Vinny, they meet up for lunch to kind of talk about it. And that was I thought that was a really nice moment. I was like, it was real, it wasn't awkward. They weren't flirting or being, rude. It was just a real
Yeah.
conversation, right? What did you think about
I thought I thought it was a very nice gesture, but at the same time, yeah, I thought it was very awkward because you've never really seen them in that type of situation. They're always making fun of each other, but it was cool for Vinny to he saw that this girl who he's been friends with for years, even before Jersey Shore even started, he saw that, she needed someone to talk to.
that?
So he stepped up and he made himself that person.
Yeah, and I give Vinny all the credit for doing that. I feel like he's out of the group. He's kind of like the peacemaker of the group. He's not really about the drama. He's kind of like the person of reasoning. so to speak. And so that was really great that they were able to come together and kind of like talk it out. And Vinny made a lot of sense because he even said to Angelina that he felt like this was just a misunderstanding between her and Jenny. So that they
Hmm.
talk it out. And it's true. I like totally agree with that 100%. And with that, after their conversation, when Angelina met up with the bridal shower, she brought up something very interesting and shocking. The fact that her original bridesmaid, her best friend from childhood, or I think it was supposed to be the maid of honor,
Hmm.
are no longer friends.
Yeah,
What? And I'm just like,
crazy.
it's crazy. And I mean, obviously, we don't know exactly what happened, but
Right.
Dina mentioned, like, it seems like Angelina has a habit of always having drama with friends. And
Hmm.
it's not even just any kind of friend, it's friends who she actually, like, people who she actually cares about. It could be a
Yeah.
childhood friend, long term friend, or even sometimes her fiance. Like, what
Hmm.
do you think about that with Angelina and how she handles, I guess, drama in general?
It just sucks because this is all happening right before her wedding. All these things that are happening, you don't want to happen right before one of the biggest moments in your life. So it was very unfortunate. But like Dina said, Angelina, she has a habit of, I can't remember exactly what she said, but like pushing people away or getting into arguments with people, and that's kind of true. And like she comes off as very very stubborn. So it's very unfortunate. We can't say too much about it because we don't really know what happened.
Mhm.
But it's an unfortunate situation. You don't want that to happen to anyone.
It is. And I was hoping that they could resolve it, but it seems like, Angelina's kind of like on the move so she's like making moves. She already replaced her maid of honor and even replaced Jenny as her
Yeah,
bridesmaid, which was a shock. I'm like, girl, you didn't even talk to Jenny yet. Like, why
her
are you
whole wedding's changing.
exactly? It's like, who knows? She might get married to somebody else instead of Chris at this point. I mean, you're changing up the whole party. Like, you might as well change the groom. I don't even understand that. But we are going to circle back to it because other things have happened in between that. Moving on, while the girls are dealing with their party planning, bachelorette planning for Angelina in New Orleans, the boys, the guys, are having their guys' weekend in Los
Oh yeah.
Angeles. So that's pretty fun. That's awesome. Guys, except one, of course. I'm sure that's no surprise.
He's
Ronnie,
been MIA, man. MIA.
exactly. Ronnie is MIA, of course. So it's just MVP, Mike, Vinny, Paulie. So they're planning it and all that. I was wondering in the beginning, where's Ronnie? Why isn't he involved in this? And of course, he's on TMZ again. More drama with Jen. Just when we thought it was
Yeah.
kind of calmed down, I guess, it comes right back. And it's another ugly incident. I'm
And
not,
this was the incident that we were talking about on the after show months ago, right? Or no?
yeah, I'm thinking this was probably where he ended up in an ambulance or whatever.
Yeah.
And something involved with the knife. It was crazy. So they didn't really dive deep into it on this episode or with all the details. Maybe next week we'll find out more, but I'm
Yeah.
suspecting that's what happened. So that's
Right.
unfortunate. But the boys are still going on with their weekend in Vegas, and so that's good. So meanwhile, while that's happening, now we get into the bachelorette party planning
Hmm.
with the girls. It's exciting. Dina's really putting all of it, all her self into it with planning. She's like a great party planner, and of course, Snooki is helping her out. And they're not even sure if Jenny's actually gonna show up. So, and I was kind of worried about that because Jenny was also very involved in setting this up in the beginning too. So Dina decides to meet with Jenny to kind of, I guess, convince her to come. And so when they were at that dinner place having their conversation, I thought it was I thought it was great. I mean, Dina
Yeah, so Dina is proving to be a very good friend. You know, she's always stick by Angelina, and that's what I really like about her. She tries so hard not to choose sides, and DJ, you were just talking about Dina and how she's a good friend to Angelina. Why do you think that she chooses to be this way and she chooses not to choose sides between um, Angelina, JWoww, Snooki?
Yeah, she's very smart. Sorry, I think I cut out earlier, but she's very smart in where she stands. I think that's a great idea. What she's doing is great because she doesn't. She has to be very careful because there's already so much drama within the group. Not even just in the group between these girls, but just outside in their own personal lives. So they're each kind of going through a lot very delicately, and I commend her on how she's kind of dealing with it because I think she's doing a very great job
Yeah,
in bringing them together and making sense because somebody in all this has to be the mediator, and
right.
not everybody can pull off the mediator job because it's hard not to pick sides or whatever. You kind of have to look at it from the outside, and I like the fact that Angelina steps up to that plate and makes sense out of both of them, really, and both their sides. So what she said about Angelina, having issues kind of, mending differences with even her closest friends. And she did bring up to Jenny about her childhood friend. You kind of saw the look on Jenny's face like, oh, you know what? Maybe she really is like this. Because, we've seen
Hmm.
Angelina and how she acted
Yeah,
in the past with
yeah.
the group itself in earlier seasons. She made her mistakes. She caused a lot of
Right.
drama.
And
But
she
then, of
was a
course,
lot younger.
yeah,
Everyone does
she
stupid-ish when they're younger, and
exactly. And she regrets it and she eventually always comes back. So eventually she'll always mend the relationship. Maybe not right away because she's not that type, but
yeah.
eventually. So I thought that was good on Dina for stepping up and convincing Jenny to finally come through, which was great. And I love that, not only did JWoww finally decide to come through, but
Hmm.
also just help out, decorate the place.
Yeah.
And they were going to make it a surprise. So I was looking forward to that surprise. What did you think about all that?
That was really cool that she stood up and she was like, you know what, let's put this drama behind us
Mhm.
and let's just do this. A little risky because you don't know if Angelina is gonna be all up for it. JWoww did call her out on social media to her millions, thousands of followers. So that is a risky move, but it was coming from a good place. So I completely give her props for that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And I don't know. I was really looking forward to seeing Angelina's reaction when JWoww was gonna come
And they
through.
would do that, right?
Right?
Yes, they
I was
so
so
would do
mad.
that. We were so close to seeing it. I was like, all right, maybe we'll at least get a reaction, and then it will go. And no, we don't even see her. We just hear her say, "Oh my
I know. I
gosh."
hated that so much. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Ah, but they knew exactly what they were doing. But yeah, best believe everybody's gonna definitely be tuning in next week just to see that reaction. Oh my goodness. So much has happened. I feel like we've covered all that happened, right?
Yeah, it was a good
You actually,
episode.
it was a really good episode and
It was
so much.
really good.
But you know what? We are gonna get into our fun segments.
Yes,
A lot of spiraling going on, but our
yes.
segment,
Spiral
Spiral
Squad.
Squad. Yes. So Benny, I'm
Our
gonna toss it over to you. Who do you
yes.
think spiraled the most on this episode?
So we're doing our special segment, Spiral Squad, who went crazy during this episode. I am going to give it to JWoww because of everything that happened, the tweet that she sent out. Even she did uh, try to mend things, she still did it. So I gotta give JWoww the Spiral Squad.
Yes. You know what? I agree with that too. I was kind of tossed between JWoww and Angelina. I was leaning,
Yeah, same.
yeah, I was leaning more towards Jenny only because I feel like I met
Yeah, so we have to give Angelina a break because yeah, she did spiral a little bit, but you know, her wedding's coming up. So you got to give the girl a break.
Exactly. And speaking of wedding and things coming up, sorry again that I froze, but that leads us to our news and gossip. Was anything in the news and gossip this week?
You know, there wasn't that much. There is some news and gossip. Pauly D and Benny, they're gonna be coming out with another reality show, which was interesting to me because I remember a couple of weeks ago, or not a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, there was an announcement that they would have a completely different reality show about their friends in Vegas and hanging out with their friends in Vegas, something like that. But now this reality show that was announced, it's more of a, if I remember correctly, it's more of a prank type of reality show, and both Vinny and Pauly D are on it. Not much was released about it, but hey, I'm anything Jersey Shore related with the cast involved, I'm all down. I'm still waiting for Double Shot at Love 2 with these guys. So yeah, it's I'm happy to watch anything with these guys involved.
Of course, definitely. I'm looking forward to that as well. I didn't even know about that. So thank you for that. I'm excited.
Oh, that's what you're for.
Yes, Benny. Yes. All right. So obviously we're gonna have another exciting episode next week. Let's get into our predictions.
Ooh. Let's see. When am I gonna think that's gonna happen? I think Angelina is gonna forgive JWoww, and her wedding's gonna come up, and they're gonna be fighting once again because we've already seen the headlines. Angelina was pissed at Snooki and JWoww for something that they said during her wedding. I think we're gonna start getting some more Ronnie drama, which I don't want to see, but I want to see it. and yeah, it's gonna be a crazy couple of episodes.
I agree 1,000%. I predict, with the upcoming episodes starting next week. I mean, we've already seen it. Angelina, I think, it's a typical. So I think she's eventually going to start really cracking starting next week. When we looked at the previews, she's like literally almost cursing out the camera. So I'm excited to see her, I guess, the devil come out of her. So
I want to see that wedding. I can't wait to see that wedding.
Oh my God. I'm like nervous, but
yeah.
Either way, it was a great episode, great show. There you have it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And Benny, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can, I'm Benny Adams. You guys can find, whoa, live, people. This is what happens live.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a little too excited there.
I know,
Benny
right?
Adams. You can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams.
Awesome. And you guys can find me on Instagram at DJ_Beaulieu. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily